Hi, my name's Craig Fear. I'm a nutritional therapist. I'm the author of the 30-Day Heartburn Solution. I was recently interviewed where I answered some basic questions about my book, about heartburn, how you can stop heartburn through diet instead of drugs. So I hope you learned something from these questions and I hope you enjoy them.
So what's the difference between antacids and acid blockers?
Yeah, antacids, I call them acid neutralizers, and Tums, Rolaids, Pepto-Bismol, those are examples of antacids. They're kind of like low-tech, very low-tech kind of things to take, and usually some kind of mineral formula. Tums is like calcium carbonate, another one's like milk of magnesia, and they alkalize the stomach for a very brief period. So they often people have heartburn, they take a Tums, Alka-Seltzer, and it kind of takes away the burning. It takes away the symptom for maybe an hour or two. It doesn't solve the underlying problem, so a lot of people kind of stay dependent on those antacids. But they're pretty low-tech things, not good to take long-term, but most people, if they're taking them long-term, those people, it's very easy to work with them and to get them away from those things and with simple dietary shifts. The acid blockers is a little bit more difficult because they're much more high tech. And there's two types. There's your H2 blockers, and that's like Zantac, and they interfere with a chemical pathway in the stomach's production of stomach acid, or the proton pump inhibitors, and those are like the ultra powerful ones. And that's Prilosec, I think Prevacid are a few examples, and they literally go into the stomach. They literally shut down the acid-producing cells of the stomach. Those are the most commonly prescribed medications now are the PPIs, the proton pump inhibitors, and they tell people they work great. I mean, they take away acid reflux, and
right.
I'm not like opposed to them. There is some use for them. If someone's having some really bad, acid reflux, it can be dangerous.
Sure.
They can work, but we don't want to stay on them long term. And most people are not eating in a way that they don't understand how simple dietary shifts can stop that acid reflux stop the acid from refluxing into the esophagus.
Right.
So we want to, now weaning off them or coming off them is a little bit trickier than antacids, but essentially the acid blockers are much more high tech.
Right.
They're much more powerful. They do a better job, but people become much more dependent upon them. People get stuck on those things for years, if not decades, and it has a big, profound influence on your health, because when you're lowering that acidity, for years and decades, it's been positively associated with nutrient deficiencies. Mm-hmm. When we stay on these things too long, bone loss, because we're not breaking down the minerals in our food properly, mm-hmm. and further digestive problems.
Right.
So I show people in the book how to kind of wean off those acid blockers.
Nice.